Welcome to Big Pick 4, season 2014-15. The NFL picking experts, Big Danny D and Brian B, will bring you the best 4 picks for Sunday NFL games, to include the Big Danny D guarantee, Big Brian B
you won't see this
guarantee.
With Berman and his 2-minute drill.
No. We'll start with a recap of the 2013-2014 season, where the so-called experts went 500 on the season.
2 years in a row.
But
2 years in a row, which is exactly 500,
yeah.
baby. Woo!
They had brought you the winning Super Bowl pick for the last 3 seasons. So.
And hours of entertainment.
How in the hell are we going to go better than 500 during the regular season?
Get off to a better start. I think last year we were like 4-16 in the first 4 weeks or something.
We just need more Sandusky jokes.
Oh, I got a million of them.
No, Brian's right though. Starting the season better would probably make it be a good idea.
The last 2 years we started like 4-16.
Yeah, we've been awful. Then we get better in the second half, but anyone can pick.
But then
better in the second half.
and then you're dug yourself a hole.
Yeah.
So, strategy going into the 2014-15 season. How are you going to live up to your self-professed guru titles?
I make no promises.
Keep the bar low, baby.
That's right. And by the way, that title was given. I didn't really earn it. But
Brian, other than being the Big B, has a second nickname. He is the Unforgiven.
What does that even mean?
Where he has attended in the past barbecues, and he doesn't currently attend family barbecues, but because he tends to be unforgiven by his friends' wives. That's why he is called the Unforgiven.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
So he invited back.
I just smile and nod.
So we will start the season with a recap of the prior show's picks, which was the Super Bowl winning champions, Seattle Seahawks. Any comments on the last show's prediction of a Seahawks victory in the Super Bowl?
We did pretty well in that one.
That's the only thing we
They
did right.
killed him. Oh man, that was one of the worst Super Bowls ever played. Oh, the Broncos. What were they? What were they wearing? Was it the white jerseys? I think it was, or the orange. I forget, but whatever jersey they were wearing, they're 0-3 in the Super Bowl wearing that jersey that they're wearing.
The orange one.
The orange one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
They've never won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They've won. The only two they won was they were wearing the white jerseys.
Huh.
So we were doomed from the beginning. But I mean, the first snap going over Peyton's head, it was just a disaster.
I only want to say that in the beginning of the week, Dan wanted to pick the Broncos, and I talked him out of it. You're welcome, fans. You are welcome.
No, but I think every year your Super Bowl pick is not just you both jump in on the same side. I think every year it's a debate, but you end up coming out on top. Whoever ends up being the pick.
Yeah, we've done well on that one. If only we could do.
I don't think the Ravens was an easy pick either.
No.
It wasn't like you both just jumped on the Ravens.
No, but hopefully that helps us during the season now that we can ride that momentum into the this new season.
That's right.
So we'll now have the combined pick.
And I know
for the
why
first
we have only 30 viewers.
Sunday of NFL 2014-15. These are the picks where the NFL experts, Danny D and Brian B, agree on 2 picks prior to their guaranteed picks, which are individual. Let's have the combined picks Danny and Brian.
All right, our first combined pick of 2014-15 is New England minus 3.5 at Miami. We're taking New England. Miami just doesn't do anything for you. They're not a real sexy team. They just, I don't know what's going on there. After all those shenanigans with that Martin guy last year, didn't get rid of anyone except for me, I think the GM. The coach is still there. I'm not sure how competent he is. Ryan Tannehill kind of went backwards last year. I don't think they did much to improve the team, really. They're just kind of a stale team. New England's done a lot. They have Gronkowski back. These receivers that Brady worked with are now had another year with him in the system, and I think they'll be better. They got Brandon LaFell, who should be another big weapon in the red zone. And I think their defense will be a little bit better. They should be a little younger, a little more athletic. And I just don't think Miami's going to score that many points either. I mean, not that they won't score, but it's going to be like a 34-17 kind of game, 34-20, something like that. I think New England will score in the 30s because just Brady looked fantastic in the preseason. He was incredible. And I think he's really ready, and these receivers are going to be more ready than they were last year because they've had a whole year of learning and practicing and getting all this work in. That's so important. So for those reasons, we're going with New England for this week.
So the New England line has not moved all week, which is rather interesting. As Danny says, everyone's betting on New England. So keeping that spread at three and a hook favored New England. Let's have the guaranteed, or the correction, the combined pick, number 2 from Brian B.
All right, the second combined pick for Week 1 is Baltimore and Cincinnati. It's at Baltimore. It's a pick'em. We're choosing Baltimore. Basically, for a couple reasons. I think the main reason is because historically within the division, Cincinnati does not play well on the road, and Baltimore plays very well at home. Over the past 2 or 3 years, if you look statistically, especially on the offensive side of the ball, Baltimore always plays better at home. I actually think Baltimore is – I might be the only person, but I think Baltimore is better without Ray Rice. He's older. I think Bernard Pierce is a better running back, and he'll get more touches. They have Dennis Pitta back. They got Steve Smith in the offseason. They made some improvements on the defensive side of the ball. Now, Dan did point out that Cincinnati may win a division this year, and they do have a strong team. But I like to go back to the whole emotional first game of the season. It's a home game, interdivision rivalry. I think that the Ravens are going to play a little more pumped up in the beginning, and they might get out to a lead that the Bengals can't recover from. So basically, for all those reasons, I think it's going to be a tight game. But I think it's going to be like 20-17 Baltimore.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm trying to see if me doing like moving or something affects it. So there you have it. Your 2 combined picks. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Hang on. I needed to call up my little screen there. So there you have it. Your 2 combined picks for Week 1 NFL 14-15 season, being New England and Baltimore. You're really going out on a limb there. Every year
we're known for
we tend to we try to find our Love Train team every year. So every year we try to come up with our Love Train team so we can play the Love Train theme song because we all love to sing along to that. We haven't played our Love Train song yet. Either of these 2 teams looking to be the Love Train for this year?
Me and Dan were talking about the problem with Love Train is a lot of times the spreads get high. So I don't think there is going to be a Love Train. I think me and Dan are going to try to keep spreads around 2-3 points.
I don't know. We have to see what happens. I mean, who knew about Kansas City last year? And they, won some games for us.
Well, I'm just saying, like, normally...
We'll oh, here we go. The normally speech.
Yeah, again. Like, normally, like with the Colts, the one year me and my brother kept but we kept winning, luckily. But the spreads were like 7, 8.
Well, that's what you have to look out for. That's what makes it Love Train. They have a team that wins games but covers a low spread, and we don't know who that's going to be yet. I don't know who it is. Who's going to be? We have to see what happens.
Well, someone told me today that the spread in the Florida Citadel game was like 80 points or something. So at least there's a little more parity in the NFL.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm picking Florida at a minus 85 to beat Citadel.
There was a college team yesterday. They showed it on SportsCenter. It was in Texas. I forget who it was. Texas A&M something against some other crappy team, and they won 98-17. And they only scored 98 because they missed 2 extra points. Otherwise, you've had 100.
Oh my god, that's awesome! I can't even imagine a honey burger. That's crazy.
Well, I'm sorry, but when you've played your second and third string and you're still ahead 98 to 14, it's like, what do you want me to do? You want me to just send them out there, tell them to lay down on the field?
Yeah, right. The
what do you want me to do?
Yeah, let the coaches get out there, let the cheerleaders play.
Yeah.
What's that called? What was that called?
Family night.
The cheerleaders in football is keg.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know what keeps the fires burning at the home offices of the Big Pick 4, and that's our sponsors. So please patronize them and watch this word from our sponsor.
And this is Tui Blonde Lager, awarded New Zealand's best premium lager, and now even better thanks to our new Vortex bottle. Let me explain. We've engineered precise spiral grooves in the neck, which invigorate the beer as it flows from the bottle, fully releasing that refreshing blonde lager taste. Questions?
Our special segment of the show, which is called You For Real.
Doesn't even make sense.
We will now have our first You For Real from Danny Duke.
My Are You For Real are the Buffalo Bills. First of all, they can't seem to sell the team to anybody. Then they have 3 backup quarterbacks, so they all get rid of. And then they hire, they sign Kyle Orton a week before the season starts to be their backup and get rid of everybody else, which is kind of weird. And then you have Doug Marrone is battling with the front office. They're yelling at each other because they have differences in philosophies. And the thing is, they're all going to be fired anyway when the new ownership comes in. So what are they doing? Are they for real? I mean, come on.
So the first You For Real 2014-15 season is your Buffalo Billies.
Where did you get that?
Now we will have our second, the Big Brian B. You For Real.
The second Are You For Real of week 1 goes to Donovan McNabb, me and Dan's old friend from the former Philadelphia Eagle quarterback. He was on the radio show this week, and he basically threw Nick Foles under the bus. The radio announcer asked him straight up if Nick Foles was a franchise quarterback, and Donovan McNabb said no. And of course, it's because he's jealous that Nick Foles is with a better coach, and Nick Foles had an amazing, successful season last year. I just think Donovan McNabb should keep his mouth shut and not call out players and act like he's Joe Montana, like he was a great quarterback and knows anything about how to be a franchise quarterback. Just because he won a bunch of games with the Eagles. A lot of that was Jim Johnson's defense, Donovan.
He was the greatest infield coach in the history of baseball.
That's right. As Dan likes to point out, Donovan threw quite a lot of grounders. Anyway, I'm going to call out Donovan McNabb and say, are you for real saying that Nick Foles is not a franchise quarterback. And plus, he's so young. You can't tell if a guy's a franchise quarterback after 1 year anyway. So that's my week 1. Are you for real? Are you for real? I threw that in there.
Oh, where are the crickets? Wait a minute. Hey, just reenact that last scene where you like let's roll back. Just do that go back to I threw it in, okay, and go.
No, I'm not giving you satisfaction. It's your fault for being late on the queue.
You should have those queued up and ready to go whenever Brian talks. Talks, makes stupid announcements, or makes picks.
Big Danny Dave.
All right. The first big D guarantee pick of the season is the game of New Orleans at Atlanta. We are taking New Orleans -3. Atlanta's defense stinks. They didn't do much to fix it over the offseason. Several guys got hurt in the preseason, and a couple guys retired because they were so injured they just gave up. Their offense will be better, except for, at least their passing offense will be better. They have a whole season of Julio Jones. I don't know how they're going to place Tony Gonzalez. They can't run the ball. They didn't draft a running back who was any good. They have Steven Jackson, who's 100 years old and gets hurt all the time because he's all muscled up like the Incredible Hulk. I don't really see how that helps you playing football. And Drew Brees looks great. They have some new toys to play with. I think Jimmy Graham's going to have a big year. They have the three-headed monster in the backfield. They had that new guy, Cooks. What was it? Brandon Cooks, the new receiver. Colston's always solid. I don't see how Atlanta's going to stop them. They're trying to play a 3-4 this year, but I'm not sure they have all the pieces yet. And I think their defense is going to struggle early, having not played that system before. It's going to take a little bit of time. And for all those reasons, I really think that New Orleans is going to win this game. And I think they could win by 10. But, for first of this, I think -3 is a nice low spread. And New Orleans should be able to cover that.
So they actually opened up as a 1.5 underdog and are now a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, the line totally shifted.
I worry more the other way when they start as a favorite and they flop to an underdog. I don't really worry.
Yeah.
When they start as an underdog and flop to a favorite.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I always think that's a good move.
Yeah, well, that's what happened here. They went from an underdog to a favorite.
Mm-hmm. But actually, I do have an awesome sound effect. I didn't think we'd be able to use it today, but apparently we can. Whoops. That wasn't it. Never mind.
Who the? Drew Brees!
Oh, bringing that guy back.
Bring that back, baby.
Bring that guy back. So there you have your first guarantee. Well, that sounds too much like Oprah, doesn't it?
I don't watch Oprah.
We wouldn't know. That sounds like a personal problem, Scott.
Didn't she eat all the people who worked on her show and then stop the show?
Now the big Brian B guarantee.
The first Big B guarantee for the 2014 season, Week 1, will be Kansas City at home, -3. They play the Titans. The Titans, I like Dan's line about Miami not being a sexy team. The Titans they're really don't have much. Offensively, they have Jake Locker as their quarterback. They lost Chris Johnson. They have one good wide receiver, Kenny Wright, but he's more of a slot guy. He's not a big play wide receiver. Their defense is average. They were middle of the pack in giving up points per game, yards per game. They didn't really do much to improve their defense. Now, I did see some things that kind of made me hesitant about Kansas City. They've lost three starting offensive linemen, four starting offensive linemen. Dwayne Bowe's not playing, but I still go back to home field advantage, first game of the season, the energy, plus Arrowhead is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL. I think Andy Reid always has a good game plan going into the first game, like the first 20 plays he scripts. I think they're going to have some trick plays. I think Kansas City's defense is going to be better now that Tamba Ali and Houston are back because they were injured the last 4 or 5 games of the year. And it's only -3 again. I just want to point out me and Dan have all our spreads are no more than 3 points, and that's we're going to try to keep that trend going on for the rest of the season. I just like -3 as the spread. It could be a low-scoring game like 16-10, but I just see Kansas City with the home field advantage, the crowd, and the fact that Tennessee really they're not sexy like Dan said about the Dolphins. There's not much to them. So for all those reasons, go out and pick the Chiefs. And this time I'm going to have to root for Big Red, even though I can't stand his fat ass.
Time is yours.
I have to put him in the right position to win the game.
I'm going to count kicking the walls at Big Danny D's house, saying, "Why didn't he throw the red flag? Why didn't you throw the red flag? You idiot! Why didn't you throw the red flag?"
Why did you call 3 timeouts in the first quarter?
and refusing to watch the second half of the Eagles-Giants game.
Dan did too.
Because
I was there. Dan didn't either. What do we watch? Was that?
But I think that's an advantage to you with this pick because you do know Andy Reid intimately. Even though you wanted to ride him out of town on a rail, I think Dan was going to provide him with limo service to the airport at one point with his entire staff.
He was going to dip into his big wallet in the Bank of Dan.
Which is saying a lot. For Dan being the Jew. I think he was gonna have a whole parade going out of town, a whole motorcade with limos.
Oh, people were so happy when he left.
But the tomato theme is just too good there. I mean, he's such a fit for KC.
Yeah, he loves barbecue.
Big red tomato.
The big tomato.
He's such a fit there,
Yeah.
But I mean, who would have that level of insight that Brian has? Saying he's gonna come out. He'll know the team on the first game. He's gonna script the first 20 plays. He's gonna throw a couple trick plays in there. If you hadn't spent the last how many years with Andy Reid,
12.
you wouldn't know these things.
Yeah.
12.
Well, see, that's the kind of great insight you get on the Big Pick 4 show, Scott. For all 3 of you viewers.
That's right. Yeah. You get to see many gut picks and mulligans too.
I didn't have a gut pick this week. No guts. No, Dan, you took a mulligan for last year, so fuck you.
Week 1 NFL Super Sunday is in the books with your 2 combined picks of Baltimore, which is a pick-em, at home, and your New England at a slim cover of -3 and a hook, and your guaranteed picks, which are your Big Danny D going with New Orleans, Drew Brees at a -3, and Big B going with the Big Red Tomato at -3. KC at home. Oh, the stadium's so loud. It's so loud. All right. Picks are in the books. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, you need to go out and place these bets so that you too can be prosperous. Because when you give to Big Pick 4, God will give you multiple times your investment in earnings. So you need to give to the church of Big Pick 4. Amen, brother.
Amen.
And as always,
Score with Big Pick 4.